Game number one, everybody. The grand final of the Agon League. I'm not 100% certain how to pronounce this, but we have a pretty amazing match coming up right now with Team Russia going up against Granit Gaming. And Granit Gaming is actually playing with a mixed team here today, which adds a little bit more spice to the entire setup. Now, if you're watching this video currently on YouTube and you're asking yourself, wait, Khaldor, what the hell? This is the only game that I've seen of this entire setup. Where's the rest of the games from that tournament? Actually, I kind of knew about the... Well, I was informed about the tournament pretty late, so we only were able to jump into the grand final. If there is another season coming up from this, I'm definitely going to try and provide you guys with a little bit more coverage. But thankfully, they still allowed me to jump into the grand final to cover that live. So we are having a pretty beastie game on our hands right now, with Team Russia going up against Granit Gaming. Now, Team Russia actually made it through the lower bracket, since they already lost in the winner bracket final to Granit Gaming. So it's a bit of a rematch between the two teams here. And as you can see, we're having HANZO Ops on the side of Granit Gaming today as a sub, and also DAB. So it's a little bit of a mixed setup that they currently have here. And we're going to see how this is going to be working out for them. But again, so far apparently it worked fine. So now we're having MAIEV banned out, we're having Anna also banned out, pretty traditional bans, with the exception that we're actually not seeing ZERATUL here. And ZERATUL therefore insta-picked by Tai. Now, some of you who haven't really watched too much Heroes of the Storm lately might ask, what the hell, Rexa is being banned out? He is actually starting to become an absolute staple in the meta, and on a lot of maps has become one of the priority picks on the offlane. This is Brax's holdout as we're heading into game number one, so obviously there's a lot of value for Rexa to be had in the first place, since you are ending up in that 1-4 setup where he can control the lane experience and also the objective at the same time. After ZERATUL, we're still seeing Tyrande and HANZO being picked, and that immediately in my head is just screaming Jaina. Ring of Frost after a good Void Prison setup is absolutely brutal, and that's something that's still available. Even Diablo is still up at this point. So there's a lot of combo potential for Granit Gaming, and Team Russia is just sitting there like, nah, he's okay, we deal with it easy. And yeah, if there's one thing known about the Russians, it's that they're crazy, that they're the comeback kings, they're aggressive, and they're just fucking awesome. They've proven it in Meta Madness, they've proven it in the Nut Cup, they prove it in Division S the entire time. This team is just absolutely beasting it, and apparently they feel that they can deal with one of the best combo setups that exists currently in the game. So Granit Gaming is looking at this and is thinking, wait a second, ZERATUL, Diablo and Jaina? Yeah, let's lock that down. So I'm more than intrigued to see how Team Russia is dealing with it. I would ban out Tyrael, straight up. You already know that Stork likes to play Tyrael. If he doesn't get access to his Anubarak. I mean, obviously he has a lot more heroes that he can commit to. We've seen him with Imperius and others. But with this setup, what can ruin your combo? A good Sanctification. So Team Russia, as they still have the pick available, could go into that. But yeah, let's have a look at that. Are they gonna pick Tyrael? He is still open. Could still pick it. They're Farland on HANZO now. They still need an offlaner, of course, too. But I want to see if they are committing to that Sanctification to deal with the combo, or if they have a different plan. And there's Garrosh instead, and we have Genji. Banabia is going for Genji in this game. Stork playing around the taunt, also trying, of course, to provide a setup for Tyrande. Genji great on the map, since he has the quick rotations between the lanes, but we haven't really seen too much Genji on the Division S level recently. Team is still played, but he's a far cry from the priority that he had in the past. Okay, that leaves us with Henning on Rhaegar this time, and Junkrat. And that's immediately the question. Is HANZO going to play the solo lane with Junkrat? Are we going to see him at the bot lane and Tai at the beginning of the game soloing top on ZERATUL? It's a bit of the setup that they have to figure out here. Both of them is definitely possible. But last pick, that's going to be the more important one. What we're going to see on the last one right now. Brax's holdout, and we're seeing THRALL on the offlane. Ladies and gentlemen, the Agon League, as Team Russia goes up against Granit Gaming in the grand final, map number one. Game number one, the grand final of the Agon League, ladies and gentlemen. Our Russian setup here. On the left, Team Russia with Stork on Garrosh, Kolya Martian on Tyrande. Picking the hero away from Henning, who is a sad panda right now. Shamsig on THRALL, Farland on HANZO, and Banabia on Genji. And on the right side of the map, Henning on the dog, playing Rega here. HANZO Ops on Junkrat. We have Laub on Diablo, Tai on ZERATUL, and DAB on Jaina. Yeah, so today a bit of a mixed team for Granit Gaming, and they are in the grand final, so it seems to be working out for them. They also made their way into the grand final through the winner bracket, so apparently a decent setup for them. I mean, DAB just absolutely sick, of course, on the damage roll. You have all of a sudden another Tracer player in your lineup. I mean, if you know what hero is going to be banned, and we know Tracer is going to be banned out a lot in the series, depending on the maps. You have Tai and DAB on the other side. That's double value for a Tracer ban right there. So, yeah. There's already the setup up at the top side. Down to the bottom of the map, we're having HANZO against Junkrat. That's a little bit of a weird one for the time being. Oh, talking about weird, there's the stun nearly against Tai as he jumps out. And his ZERATUL has been pretty sick just lately. One of the heroes that he's playing for Granit these days. But yeah, the solo lane at the bottom. Not quite the solo lane that you usually see. And that's why probably, especially Team Russia, is feeling a little bit uncomfortable and saying like, nah, this is kind of a bit of a weird setup. Tai gets sniffed out though, and needs to be very careful here. Banabe with a very good deflect, trying to stall it out. Bottom of the map now. Farlander still against HANZO Ops, and HANZO Ops is solo laning for now. But we're already having a bit of a flank attempt here from the opponent. Yeah, that push didn't quite work out for HANZO. But they're still taking camp. So you see a lot on the minimap here with more of aggressive rotations where teams are just trying to see if they can maybe get an advantage somehow by isolating a hero, getting for a quick kill, ganking the bot lane, making a play there. At the top in the meantime, Shamsing on his Thrall is still taking the solo against the camp that is pushing in. But obviously you need to at least control one of the lanes to have access to the objective there. And Stork is actually trying to get the lead for his team. But the rotation to the bottom is coming through. And that's a pitch perfect interrupt as we're having Henning and DAB going straight for the next camp. And they have a lot of clear, of course. You're looking at not only the lightning shield, but at the same time the blizzard damage. So there's a lot of AoE that you can use with this. Stork still anchoring the top lane here, waiting for the experience. Also as Tai is still in that position. And both of the teams are actually making those more aggressive plays towards the mercenary camps right now, trying to get that extra pressure on the map itself. It's a bit of a fluid setup. Normally we're very hard locked into that 4 versus 1, and this time it's a very, very different play. We have a lot of rotations, a lot of moves between the top and the mid lane, a lot of camps already focused early on. TAB getting a little bit bodied here, as he's already incredibly low, and of course has to move away, or Barnabia is going to be a life-threatening force on the map. And with this said, we're also having a cleave build continued for ZERATUL, top lane. They're starting to deal with that too. I kind of like the way this game is going. I mean, they are just moving from one lane to another the entire time, and the solo laners are incredibly careful right now. I mean, you look at Shamsing, and he's just constantly on his mount here. He knows that there are multiple heroes that are just waiting for him to overstep so that they can jump on him. Tai is already also waiting for a rotation to possibly come in. Having at the bot lane, HANZO Ops playing it super safe, and just pretty much only using his grenades to sniff out if there's other heroes somewhere that he can take care of, or that he can at least protect for the time being. So it's a really, really weird setup here for this map. But this one is actually kind of fun. And this is the map choice of Team Russia, I want to say, because the first pick, first ban went over to Granit Gaming, and to my knowledge, there was no winner bracket team advantage in this setup, so it has to be the map choice of the Russian team. And already we're seeing the Russians with a bit of a lead here, but the engage is finally happening, and this time they're trying to go for Stork. Good setup with a stun from Tyrande against Granit though, and in comes Genji. Zips in, zips out. Needs to be a bit careful. Doesn't really have too much left here. And they're still starting to get the position again, the Russians, all of a sudden with the advantage on the objective once more. Getting the progress stacked in. Stork nearly with a kill against Tai here, who just barely jumps out. And at least HANZO Ops at the bottom of the map was able to reclaim the beacon to stop that progress. 40% so far already on the side of the Russians. And at the top lane now still the position of the beacon. Bot lane has also been claimed. Of course, HANZO Ops is starting to move in a little bit more aggressively. Farlander, now that he's being attacked, he needs to be very careful, especially since Lauer was looking for the wall stun already, but does not find it here. Look at the damage output, by the way, on Jaina. Hasn't really gotten too much on the baseline. So not really a whole lot of work done yet on the damage output. It's mostly Genji that just keeps on poking the entire time. Dibbles, on the other hand, with Stork being in trouble, is trying to zone him out too, with the body blocks coming in too, and now the Junkrat rotated in. They might get the kill, but no, instead it's Lauber that's fall. It's a 5 versus 4. They're actually about to win it. Tai wants to get the kill, but can't find it. Now we're having HANZO moving in too, and they're going for the double kill. Henning is low and is likely to fall, and Hazorbs might also bite the dust here. They're already poking him down, and Barnaby says, hey, thank you for the present, my friend. 70% as Tai is finally making to the bottom. And this is 3 kills against 0. Team Russia, with the aggression that we are used from them, are starting to make a dent into this game. Level 7 talent, and just as I say it, we're getting another kill delivered too. Jaina already gets wrecked at the top lane. I mean, it's only understandable. It's the Winter Whale Jaina skin that you use, and we all know that we are approaching summer. Winter might be coming in Song of Ice and Fire, aka Game of Thrones, but in the real world, it's summertime, and therefore Jaina didn't have a chance. I mean, come on, bro, dude. Dibbles, on the other hand, at the top lane, might have had a chance with a bit of assistance, but going in a 1 versus 3, nah, not working out for him either. That game is starting to quickly snowball against them. Well, and again, fighting for that camp, not working out either. Granit Gaming has to take a bit of a deep breath here. They're already behind, and now with the Zerg wave pushing through at the bot lane, that could be a costly one for them. ZERATUL with the attempt to at least threaten THRALL a little bit, but I don't see that working out anytime soon. Bot lane is where the real pressure now starts, and with them already being closing in on level 10 abilities, Team Russia could make the sick plays here. Genji again delivering. Barnaby jumping in whenever he can. Starting to pressure as much as he can here, with Jaina of course delivering on the AoE. Lauber is low though. Lauber, Genji, nah, doesn't get the kill there yet. Tai is actually moving into, and they're getting all the help that they need. But despite the fact that we've had a really good setup here for Team Russia, they're not able to take the fort itself down. They've taken the Fountain, which is a big deal on Brax's holdout, delivering that, and they're also in a situation where they're now closing in on the experience that we talked about with level 10 around the corner. You have a very good setup there. Jaina trying to control the movements of THRALL. That's of course always super important here when you're trying to keep him away from you. Oh my god, like Lauber, you have to be careful. Lauber's being really careful. There could be a taunt, and there is a taunt, and that's another kill. Dibbles is down. 6 kills against 0 now. Top lane value still from Shamzik, not exposing himself to any ZERATUL shenanigans, but now with level 10 abilities, they can make the play for the fort itself, and they're doing exceptionally well here. The Russians are just absolutely murdering here once again. I gotta say, I'm just impressed by these guys. It's kind of funny that again they're making their way into the grand final through the losers bracket, and the last time that worked out extremely well against them in Meta Madness. If they today also are able to win another tournament by just completely demolishing, playing the hard part, that would be insane. Yeah, here comes again Garrosh, doesn't have the taunt yet, but another 5 seconds, that's going to be ready too. If they can slow them down a little bit longer, he might just be able to get that in. Doesn't really look like it though. Stork zoned out, but they're still able to steal the camp away. So I call value right there. DAB still poking a little bit, and they don't have level 10. They can't fight. They know that too. They're just poking as much as they can. But there's even a commitment to boss. Of course there's a commitment to boss. Yeah, they're burning that down. Easy peasy, and without level 10, there's just no chance. Diablo's gonna sniff that out a bit too late. And with nobody else around, they just can't make the plays. 10s are there, but yep, it's too late. ZERATUL was already thinking about maybe making a play here. Even saw this happening and didn't make a move. So now the boss is moving top lane. They're starting to take another camp. Tai is already dealing with this, so vision is also granted, which means that they know that the Void Prison isn't coming through. But this is the hard part now. This is really the moment when it's all about, can you deal with the combo, yes or no? Because we are still looking at a team, Granit Gaming that is, that has this setup with Void Prison into APOC and Ring of Frost. So if you make that play, you can obliterate any team if they're not paying attention here. The Sundering is probably the best tool that they currently have to really ruin that synergy, if it can come in. But I'm just waiting for Tai to make the move and make the play here. And Granit Gaming, they need that setup. They definitely do. 6 kills against 0 and a 1.5 level lead on your opponent's side. You know that you have to deliver at some point. Tai is already sitting there, and so far hasn't been sniffed out. Nobody knows that he's there yet. If they actually funnel into this, he can Void Prison that, but they see him finally. He immediately jumps out, but Genji is already on his ass right away. And that's exactly the plays that MAIEV have to make. Pressure. Pressure the combo. Pressure Ty on ZERATUL. Pressure Jaina. Whoever you get closest to. And make sure that they're low. And that it's incredibly difficult for them to land that combo there. And that's exactly what they're doing right now. Lauba is again in trouble. Yeah, arrow goes far this time though. That's a problem. That's the Void Prison, but the Riptide are still coming in. ZERATUL is already dead, and that ruins the combo. Can't release the Void Prison there as he just falls. Tyrande is down. They get that kill, but still the turnaround. Jaina dead, but so is Genji. And we're still seeing Stalk trying to go for the play together with THRALL, because they're looking for the kill against Rhaegar in particular, but it's a 2-for-2 trade with level 13 talents now in their hands, and Shamzik has to rush away from this one, locks down Henning for another moment, but Stalk comes in too and delivers another potential kill against Lauba. Diablo low, in comes Farlander, and the Chain Lightning finally delivers, and that's also the dog dying. Down goes Rhaegar, down goes Diablo, 10 kills against 2, massively ahead again. Beacon at the bot lane can be taken in a few seconds as well, as we are seeing Russia just completely playing this out. Stalk absolutely delivering at the front there too. Shamzik, Farlander low as he was, still delivering the plays, and ZERATUL is actually looking for that setup. But yeah, what a play there once again. And Barnaby, of course, on Genji. I mean, he died in the fight, but he delivered beforehand, especially against Ty on his ZERATUL. And Ty is incredible on ZERATUL, but right now he's having massive problems, and you can see why. There's constant pressure against him, and it's just super difficult for him to get anything done here. Genji is sitting at 22,000 damage right now, just slightly above THRALL, wearing 22k also for HANZO ops on Junkrat as he poking away. And the top lane is now heavily pressured. I mean, that's another fort that they want, of course, and another one they should get. So already starting to move in, get another fort in, passive experience in their hands. Void Prison is ready, so is the Ring of Frost. They can go for the play, they're looking for the play, and Ty gets again sniffed out. We're talking a lot about the plays that Barnaby is making and the plays that Stalk is making, but Farlander and Kolya Martian on his Tyrande, they're doing both incredible job to make sure that they're sniffing out ZERATUL wherever he is. Every single corner gets sniffed out by them. Everything gets checked. It's all about the ZERATUL positioning. Do you have to split? Is ZERATUL close? That might be an overstep though. Stalk with the Indomitable. Here comes the arrow against Rhaegar. And even Genji is trying to capitalize a little bit on it with extra damage. Yeah, and there's the control over the beacon. Shamzik is trying to pressure this out, but now they have to be careful. As long as they know where ZERATUL is, the damage or the threat level is not quite as high anymore. They know when to split, they know when they can cluster a little bit more. HANZO has taken out the bottom beacon, but that immediately triggers the attack at the top where they're trying to go for THRALL. THRALL survives through that for now, and they go for the counter-aggression. Jaina is in a lot of trouble as she's completely isolated, but the Ancestral is hitting perfectly. She's down, but so is Genji. Quest completed now as well. DAB will be able to use the Ice Block later on in the game too, but the fight isn't over yet. They're going in again, and this time Rhaegar is down. There's the Void Prison, and the Apox setup is hitting 2, hitting 3, but it doesn't matter. Stalk still gets the kill. He takes down Ty, and now they're trying to corner Lauba again. Lauba is already moving out, trying to get the wall stuns through, but he is I mean, he's literally in the corner at this point. He's literally in the corner, and he is going to die. So Diablo dead again, staggering that even a bit as they are making the play for another beacon here. And just look at these stats. 14 kills against 3. 14 kills against 3 right now, and 16 versus 13 talents. It's a 2.5 level advantage that they're currently running here, and it's absolutely bonkers. I mean, the numbers alone, 31,000 damage on THRALL, 30,000 on HANZO, 28k on Genji. 5 deaths on Diablo alone. It's absolutely insane. The progress bar is just racing forward as we have camp after camp taken from Team Russia, and obviously they're looking even for another fight now. They know they can fight, and so far the big bad ass combo hasn't really been an issue whatsoever. They take again the beacon, but up to the top Dibbles is once more taking control over the top lane, but it's just camp after camp that gets taken here, and at this point you can even look for a boss again. Can even make that play again. They're starting to move in here. Stalk is on the point. Already we're having, yep, Junkrat trying to play around that, but still, the camp is taken. camp is taken, the camp is claimed, and up at the top, DAB was pushed back by the camp and has to deal with this. And that, of course, means that they're not only making the play for the boss right now, they're also going for the beacon again. And that's a twofer right there. But the combo is ready, and they know that this is being taken. This might be the Russians overstepping a little bit. They have the level 16 talent advantage, but can they make the play here? At this point, Granit Gaming is just saying, well, now we are going for it. There's camps on both lanes, aggressively pressuring. So there's definitely pressure on the map that you have to deal with eventually, and they are on the timer. But Tai is looking for the combo. Tai is looking for the Void Prison. And they're going for the point right now. There's the VP. There's the VP, and there's the massive combo and the double kill. HANZO and THRALL, they're both down, and they steal. No, they actually take the boss. Russians take the boss, they get the kill against Reka. How the fuck are they winning this right now? Alright, they're losing THRALL, they're not winning this. Or are they? Down goes ZERATUL, and Banabia dies as the grenades come through. And they are going for THRALL as well, for Garrosh as well. But look at the bot lane. They might have done this, but now at the bot lane, even with HANZO moving in, this is starting to look more and more like we might even see the keep fault. It's going to be a close call, and it just survives. Top lane value, on the other hand, as the pause is moving in too. They're at least going to get this one, so the objective is going to end up in their hands, but oh boy. I mean, this one barely survives, and that was already just barely an achievement that they got, but this is insane. So, I mean, the Russians actually, after they lose 2 heroes to the insta-combo, are able to get 2 heroes killed, and on top of that, they steal the boss. That's a little bit insane. So the 2 keeps haven't fallen yet, but both of them have taken damage. Typical aggressive Russian play. That backfired a little bit, but that kind of got salvaged to an extent. 16 kills against 8. And of course the defense has to be at the top lane, where we're seeing Team Russia with their own wave. Down at the bottom, they have to deal with that situation. They're already poking as much as they can. And to deal with the backline there too. So it shouldn't really come down to a lot of... I mean, this is honestly, this is not going to even touch the board at the bottom of the map. It's not even going to touch it. 37,000 damage against 39,000 top damage dealers now. Yeah, and here comes the pressure through the bot lane. They only need a little bit of poke. It's all that they need. Just look at that keep. And of course, that's a 5-man defense right there. You have to. Still 1.5 levels or 1 level of a lead for Team Russia in experience. The combo is ready again to try and make the play. They're already starting to move in. Yep, Garrosh delivers. They're going for Jaina. There's the Sundering, and that's a dead DAB. That combo is all... And they're chasing everything. HANZO Ops is already about to fall. He gets the Ancestral, and that keeps him alive for a little bit longer, but the Void Prison is being used in the backline just to keep the team safe. And once again, we're seeing THRALL thrown to the front. And here comes the quick APOC as Farlander is pausing the game. Apparently, we have a bit of a drop on Stark at the same time now. The top lane, we're having this one. Yeah, well, the camp is still doing a bit of damage, but honestly, this fort isn't even falling as we're having the catapult pushing it too. And down at the bottom of the map, as we are seeing that engage happening, I'm not really sure how much this is going to do there either. Lauba is obviously trying to go for the kill, but at the same time, it's a 5 versus 4 that we're talking about now. And Shamzik is in a position where he can start to lock the team out at the right side. All of the ults have already been used. Every single one of them, with the exception of the Ring of Frost, because Jaina just got instantly obliterated after Stark was able to make the big play here and deliver Jaina straight into his own backline and right into the hands of the damage dealers. And we're back to business, and in this case, Lauba not able to get too much done with the APOC, but they're covering the retreat at least with that. So Stark apparently dropping here, but now we're having the keep down, keep already eliminated, and that brings us into another lead for Team Russia, at least for the time being. And they're already trying to get a little bit more. They're going for Diablo, and they're just dropping Lauba. They're just dropping him. Stark again. I mean, we talk about Imperius with Raph being the delivery boy, but that's before we've seen Stark on Garrosh. He delivers kill after kill into the hands of his damage dealers, and they're just obliterating them one at a time. They're pressuring the bot lane right now. They could transition topside. Instead, they're trying to make the play for Tai. Stun doesn't connect, but well, this one does, and that is the end of ZERATUL. The Ring of Frost with a double connect here, and 2 kills, but they get the counter. Stark is still alive for the time being as they're moving away. The catapult is homing in on the core. They are not stopping. They can't stop. They won't stop. It's the Russian team, and they are finally... They're retreating? Wow. Look at that. They're actually moving back for once. Stark just saying, boys, I'm nearly dead. I'm nearly dead. So let's at least drop it for now. But they have 20, and the beacon is up again. It seems like the Russians talk to the French a little bit. The retreat in this case, the tactical retreat. They're not running away, no. Tactically retreating. Yeah, but it was actually a good one. I mean, they can't really go for the core. Then again, I said this in the past a couple of times, and the Russians just didn't care because apparently they didn't know, and they just ended the games anyways. So now we have with the bullseye, the hit against Lauber again. But we are looking at 20 kills against 10. 20 kills against 10 right now, which in itself is already insane for this level of play. 20 versus 19, and this is of course bad news if you're Granit Gaming. I mean, obviously, you kind of rely on the Storm talents. You don't want to fight here, but you might have to force the fight after all. Bot lane is pressuring, catapults are moving in, HANZO is forced to deal with it. Top lane, that's where we've got one beacon taken. They're going to move around it too. Tai probably going to blink it at some point, once that they have vision over the bot lane attempt. Catapults are scratching the core slightly, but it's all about, can you force the fight, yes or no? Progress bar is already starting to work up, but Diablo is making his way in. Bot lane still getting pressured. They're still trying to sniff someone out. Haven't really found ZERATUL yet. No 20 yet in the hands of Granit Gaming, their biggest problem. And again the double stun. Here comes the Void Prison. Can they get the APOC? APOC is in, and the ring connects with 2, and that's the end of HANZO. HANZO and Tirana are both down. That's the kill, exactly the kill that they needed. Granit Gaming with the plays here. They're going in, they're going for the triple. Genji is down, and so is THRALL. THRALL eliminated, and Granit Gaming is back to business. Level 20 in their hands and a quad kill, and all of a sudden we are talking 20 minutes into the game. They could go boss, they will go for the objective, and instead we're seeing them move up to the top. They want Stalk. They want the staggered death. They want the staggered death against Stalk, and they should get it. They should get it. Oh, yes, they will. Nearly gets away, but they are able to claim him after all. 20 against 15 right now. The combo is there, and now we're having them starting to not only defend the top lane, but also make the play for the boss itself. And 20 minutes into the game, that bad boy is starting to do a lot of work here. Now we're having ZERATUL again with the Shadow Maining. We're already having on the side of Rhaegar the Storm Shield, boss taken. They go for the objective itself. HANZO gets a little bit of assistance too. And they can of course now top off at the fountain in the mid lane, which is exactly what they're doing. 100% on the Zerg wave, and the wave is going to focus on the top lane. Boss is at the bottom of the map, and this one is starting to do a bit more damage. Catapults or no catapults, and we are all of a sudden looking at a game that could open up a lot more. The keep is the big advantage. The keep for Team Russia, that they destroyed at the bottom of the map, that's the biggest advantage that they have right now, as we are seeing the red team, Granit Gaming, already setting up a little bit of a trap right over here, waiting for anybody to rotate between the lanes. And here comes HANZO. Top lane, that's where they have to deep push, and they don't quite have the wavelet that exists on the other side. They don't have that Jaina, they don't have that Junkrat, and here comes the massive push as Granit Gaming is looking to see if they can end the game here. One good Void Prison, one more is all that they need. They were behind most of the game, but all of a sudden they are the ones with the pressure, they are the ones with the initiative here. They are the ones who are starting to go straight for the core here with the Zerg wave. Bot lane boss still alive, still doing damage, still doing work as the flank is coming in. They're going for ZERATUL, they're delivering a bit of the damage. The stun against Diablo already coming through. No Void Prison just yet. Tai is pressured consistently here. Difficult for him to get the VP, but he gets it only against one. Only against one. That's not going to be enough. The Sundering is missing, but they still don't get the kill with the VP. Here comes the Reptile. That drops at least Garrosh low, and he gets taken down by DAB. DAB with a kill right there. And they try to make the play for Farlander, but they can't kill him just yet. The pressure against the core now. We're still having a 4 versus 5, and Granit Gaming is just going for it. Everybody low. The core is already falling slowly and steadily. In comes Genji, looking for the play, looking for the reset on the Swift Strike. Shamzik against Diablo, but Lauber with a stun straight into the corner, and that is game as Granit Gaming goes for the big comeback and takes the lead in the best of 5 grand final at the Agon League. Game number 2. Pretty sick comeback there by Granit Gaming on the last map. Russia dominated for most of the series, or for most of the map here on Brax's holdout. Now we're looking at Infernal Shrines, our second map. And yeah, I mean, I'm a game of that series already. The grand final so far is pretty awesome. With that said, we're having first pick, first ban, this time for Team Russia, which also, of course, means that Granit Gaming has this time chosen the map. Now we're going in with the Russians, banning out ZERATUL, not happening in this game anymore. Stork is once again not able to play as a Nubarak because he gets banned out again and stim right away. MAIEV is the next big question. I mean, at this point I would actually expect Russia to ban something else to allow Granit Gaming to leave it open so that they can first pick it, but no. They are actually committing to the ban. Okay. Let's see what we're having banned out by Granit Gaming right now. Infernal Shrines, so you could even ban out... I mean, again, normally you would see the tanks adjusted here. Have maybe even Diablo banned out. Have maybe something along the lines of Garrosh being banned out as well. Banning out Stork in general, and yeah, there's the Dibbles ban. Wouldn't even have been surprised to see Imperius ban, to be honest. Even Rexa, we've seen Rexa banned before, and Rexa is exceptionally often played by the Russian team too, so that's another thing. So let's see. We're having, with that as a first pick. Honestly, like with the first pick, I'm actually more so interested in what the second and the third pick is, because if they want to pick Rexa, then there's a good chance they have to commit to it then. Because Granit Gaming is likely to ban it out on the third. There's the HANZO pick instantly on the first one. Dignitas style. They were one of the teams that for the longest time still committed to the HANZO first pick, whereas other teams kind of started to abandon a little bit more and brought that back in. Now we're having the double picks on the side of Granit Gaming. And there's the Tirana for Henning. He said like, one game without Tirana is enough. Now we're first picking her again. They actually get it. And there's Jaina. This time, maybe in the hands of HANZO, who knows? I mean, DAB again could swap into it, depending on what else they're picking. So if HANZO wants to maybe play on Jim Reyna again, he can do that. But now, this is the moment where it's either Rexa or not. I mean, but Captain Obvious wants his line back, I guess. But if you don't pick Rexa now, there's a good chance it gets banned out on the third one. There's Johanna, and they go for Leo instead. They've played insanely great Leoric games with Toxic in the setup. I mean, both of the teams today with a couple of subs in there. The Leo style was definitely incredibly powerful, but you can still play the Rex. I mean, they played Rexa pretty much in every single map, but this is amazing for Leo, of course. And they do well with the hero in general. I mean, not only as an individual player, but just the entire team, the way they play around him and oftentimes sacrificing in the early game. That's the first kill, yeah. So now Ana gets banned as well. Takes that away, which probably puts us into the Malfurion place from Kolya Martian again, which was for the longest time his go-to hero. Then again, Rhaegar is another hero that gives you the value on the map. Obviously, I said it before. DAB and Tai on the other team, you kind of want to ban that Tracer. Like, you have two amazing Tracer players on the other side. They're probably fighting over who gets to play Tracer if she gets picked at some point. But yeah. Let's see. Tai with Malthael. That could still be switched, but he actually played Malthael before with great success too. And Lauba is going straight in for one of his best frontliners, picking ETC here. This is very strong with. Which brings us to the final two picks on the side of Team Russia. So again, is it going to be Rhaegar? Is it going to be Malfurion that we're now getting for Kolya Martian? There's other heroes that would theoretically also fit the bill, but that's usually what we're going to get from the support player from Team Russia. And those are his go-to picks, and both of them have value here. And it's Rhaegar plus Alarak this time. Okay, Alarak gets picked. And then, last pick, last but not least, on the side of Granit Gaming. Still need a bit more damage here, and DAB hasn't made a choice yet. Unless, of course, they're swapping with HANZO, which it did in the past few times. I mean, oftentimes with Washed Up, the main team of HANZO, they did that. But yeah. Let's see if we get something spicy here on top of that. Already JJ. And hammer time! Alright, likely going to end up in the hands of HANZO. Unless HANZO is really insisting on playing Jaina this time, but we'll find out. We're heading into game number 2, Infernal Shrines. Granit Gaming has the lead in the best of 5 series, the grand final of the Agon League, so let's jump straight in. Game number 2, Infernal Shrines. On the left side, Stork on Johanna for the Russians, Kolya Martian on Rhaegar, Shamzik on Leoric with Farlander on Alarak and Banabia on HANZO. And on the right side of the map, after a pretty awesome comeback in the first game, they have now taken the lead in this best-of-5 grand final. We're seeing Henning on his main hero, Tyrande, Ty on Malthael, DAB on Jaina, so the swap happened. HANZO is playing the auto-attacker here with Sergeant Hammer, and Lauber is playing ETC. Alrighty, so... I mean, it's honestly, if any of the games that we're seeing right now are just remotely on the same level that we had the first one, then please can we have a 5-mapper? That's at this point really the only thing that I want out of this series. We had so many cool setups here already, it's just absolute fun to watch this. First game we had how many kills? Like nearly 40, which is pretty amazing. So well, with that said, we're having already our setup here with the Austin's Renewal on Leo. Be curious to see how many stacks Ty can get on the last rides on level 10. Yeah, already the big setup here. Whoa! Good stuns. That's of course always the problem when you're going up against an ETC and a Tyrande, that those stuns... One stun rarely comes alone. There's oftentimes the follow-up there. So, I mean, that must kind of feel bad. You're on Hammer and then Fallen just comes in and pushes him out and he's like, yeah, okay. The old man with the auto-attacker here. Less stress for him. Alright. So, Shamzik at the top, missing the drain against Ty. That's never a good sign. Double camp currently committed to, as we're seeing them moving in. And, well, Granit Gaming have definitely a bit of an advantage heading into this, not only because of the 1-0 lead, but also because they previously won the winner bracket final against Team Russia. That's obviously going to give you a lot of confidence with this. And they're currently doing a fairly good job at fighting here for the bot lane too, with DAB coming in. Yeah, there comes the slide, there comes the damage, and Farlander is already about to drop, so he needs to be careful and moves back to the fountain. Which brings us into a situation where we have a lot of pressure for Granit Gaming on the map as is. So nicely done. Now with that said, we're still waiting for the first shrine to appear here. It's, for me personally, it's really a lot about Alarak right now. If you have an Alarak player in the game, then it's always a question of, okay, how much can he actually get? How many stacks are we going to see from the level 4? Is he able to deliver the damage numbers? If he does, he's oftentimes the linchpin of the game. He's oftentimes the one that really decides, okay, do you win or lose this? And there are a lot of setups that we have right now. I mean, you have also Leo, obviously, who later on with a good Entomb can really decide over win or loss in a team fight. But with Farlander playing Alarak right now, our eyes in those battles are definitely going to be on him to a large extent. It's similarly true, I want to say, for Malthael here. Ty played some pretty decent Malthael in the past, and I'm interested to see if he can repeat that. It's actually an interesting spot where he plays a lot of different roles for the team. Normally more so found on the range damage. And that's a little bit of an interesting setup here. Stork comes in, but they have to really be careful. DAB is still ready, and they're all rotating in. This is not going to go well for Russia, like not at all. They're most likely going to lose Leo now. Yep, Leo. Whoa, close. Very, very close. They're actually still alive. Color me impressed. Shamzik survives all of this. We're having the shrine now activated too. The camp wasn't stolen away, so they have to tap the fountain. But that was a pretty aggressive move, and it nearly worked out for the Russians. Then it was about to turn against them. And now as it stands, we're actually seeing Granit Gaming still with the lead when it comes to the points on the objective. Finally, Barnaby is making his way in, but the situation is already starting to be a little bit complicated. HANZO is obviously attempting to find a good position here for Hammer. Sets himself up pretty safely in the back once more. But we're actually having the Russians completely commit now to their play here. And with the healing ward in the backline from Khaldor Martian, they have the sustain until now as well. So they're starting to get massively ahead with this, and there comes the fight now finally on the side of Granit Gaming as they have the level 7 talent too. A little power spike definitely going to help them, and that obviously gives us the hovering siege mode as well, which immediately allows HANZO Ops to take a lot more control over the shrine with the rest of his team. Oh my god, the massive stuns and the kill against Leo. They're trying to make it a double. A Stalk is low, but they can't get the kill just yet. But it looks more and more as if this first Punisher is going to end up in the hands of Granit Gaming. Yeah, leading experience, they get the objective, and they got the kill too. Obviously only against Leo, and he's already back to business, but still, definitely nice setup here for them. And, I mean, when you're playing with Hammer and you have ETC in the mix, it's always great because it's a little bit of the same dynamic that we had back in the day when Vala was a continuous pick. You have a hero that can easily provide space, and obviously as Hammer, the one thing that you want to do is you want to siege up and you just want to control the space that the entire time. Your opponent will have to make the play eventually and try and drop you. If you have an ETC with a setup, an ETC with this build here with the loudspeakers, with the pinball wizard, and then also the level 13 talent synergy, it has just a fantastic setup to not only stun heroes so that you get even more damage in and you are able to just like get the continuous auto attacks against them. It really helps whenever the engagement on you starts that ETC can push them out and create a little bit of space for you. The Touch of Death, another really cool talent, not only against the chain heal that you get from Rhaegar, but also if you can actually connect that before the Ancestral comes through, you are going to have a mass value of that talent. So that 7 by itself is already doing a lot of work against an Ancestral healing. So the setup so far, pretty good for Granit Gaming. I mean, this game is looking to be a little bit different than the last one. At least this time we have the initial lead for Granit Gaming. Which then again, completely confirming to the memes here, is kind of where Team Russia usually excels when they're fighting from behind. It's at this point not even a joke anymore. Seriously, like when they're behind, for some reason, all of a sudden they're just playing completely unleashed and are able to turn things around. It's honestly a little bit insane. But let's see if they can pull it off this time again. Because I feel at some point teams are realizing that and are just not letting up anymore once they apply the pressure. Now we have last rights taken, we have the water elemental this time, plus also the mosh pit. And HANZO with the hovering siege mode just playing around this still. Siege tactics, always a nice tool if HANZO is afraid that something might be coming his way here. We have level 10 abilities that they couldn't really capitalize on too much just yet. Obviously we're going to have an eye on especially Malthael, how many of those last rights he gets through to deliver the kill and the additional stacks into his hands. But here comes now the deadly charge right away for Alarak. Okay, deadly charge for him, no counter strike. Objective isn't announced yet, but of course it's going to spawn topside. And this is actually something where Tai has to get the hell out of there. Yeah, they are rotating in aggressively. Stork was waiting for a flank with a Blessed Shield, but he doesn't get that, and now that they committed resources to the bot lane, they're losing the top lane wall. Well, the hope was, of course, to take Malthael down and then maybe go for a trade, but as that didn't happen, the 4-man rotation that Granit Gaming set up topside got now a lot of value. Couldn't really drop the fountain yet, which is of course the go-to goal when you're trying to make a play like this, just simply because the objective is going to be harder to take for your opponent if you make that happen. But still, taking the wall down by itself is already a great tool, especially if they're able to win the objective in the first place. Another Punisher pushing through the top lane would be, I mean, guaranteed to take the fort, and maybe even a little bit more depending on how the previous fight goes. So now as we're heading into this, still looking at the setups. DAB already waiting in the shadows. ETC is lurking around here too, waiting for the rotation of the opponent. DAB with a bit of free damage against Dog, which immediately gets healed out there. And now things are starting to become interesting. This is a important one. It's already a slight lead in experience, but it's not really nothing too measurable just yet. There's a stun set up from Henning as he was trying to lock down Leoric for a little bit longer. All waiting for the Entomb here. Entomb into a good arrow from HANZO can definitely ruin the day of the backliner within a second. But 20 stacks already, well 18 to be exact. It's pretty solid advantage for Granit Gaming, but Team Russia is now trying to get the position here. Tai is already tempted a little bit. Stork is eating a lot of damage here, and once that we're having the last rights committed to, that's of course the question if we're gonna see that Ancestral. There's the last right. No way! Okay, he dies. I was just about to say, there's no way he gets away with like 2 hit points or what that was. 1 stack already committed to. Yeah, Leo of course is going to be back very, very quickly. I mean, if you look cooldowns, that was actually nearly a positive trade, but here comes the Ancestral. Moshpit gets interrupted by the HANZO arrow. The problem is that Alarak might still fall. DAB was in trouble for a moment. There's the Entomb keeping him in play. Oh, and the kill! Alarak comes back in, delivers, and now that Leoric is back, it's all of a sudden a 5 versus 4 against Granit Gaming. Still zoning them out though, since everybody is low. 32 against 6 points now. They're trying to get a few more of these stacks together. 33. 1 quick connect. Still looking for the additional plays. The 13 talents are there too, with the inevitable end. But of course, still a 5 versus 4 for the time being. But Barnaby is low, and so is Stork. HANZO got nearly blown to pieces. And now they're making, of course, the play for the objective itself, and they should get this one for sure. But this is the strength of Leoric sacrificing himself in the earlier stages, because he's going to be back so quickly around the second or the first objective that if your opponent uses resources, especially heroic abilities, to burn him down, that is not a worthy cooldown trade in quite a lot of situations. But Granit Gaming still pulled it off. They still made the play there. And they are able to take down the fort at the top side. They already rotated Jaina down to the bottom of the map, and they're rotating into the middle to get a little bit more damage in against the fort there. The lead-in experience is definitely theirs. And with 2 against 1 kills, this game is starting to slowly spiral into the hands of Granit Gaming. I mean, for the time being, it's even talents. But now that you have the first fort eliminated and you're getting the second one too, that might change quickly. 18 stacks now on Alarak on the level 4, and they actually didn't get it. They didn't quite get it here. They're close. They haven't quite been able to take it down. Last Rites is up again. The 5-second cooldown reduction that we're seeing through that one stack hasn't really played too much of a role yet, but of course if Tai is able to stack a few more, that's going to change quickly, and he's taking the one in the middle. Arrow down to the bottom of the map, the follow-up against Hammer. HANZO is alive, and the Tomb comes in. They go for Leo, and that's the second stack for Tai. Tai on 2 stacks right now with the last Rites. Another big fight and a 1-for-1 trade. Leo down, but going to be back soon. Barnaby with 100 points gets away for now, trying to deliver a little bit more damage out there, especially against ETC, who barely slides away here. But 2 forts are down. 2 forts are down right now. And we are having 10-second cooldown reduction already on last Rites from Malthael. And long term, that is going to be an issue. This is not a late game situation where we're already 17 minutes in and he got the 2. No, we are actually talking 11 minutes at this point. So we are looking at a setup where Tai has a very good chance of just getting that stack more and more and more. Free damage against the 4, that's an easy one too. Tai is a little bit far out, needs to be super careful right now. Yep, there's the stun to cover his retreat, and he moves away. The AB is even waiting for someone to just daring to move through there to unleash the damage. 16 is so close for them that they're obviously hoping for a fight after this talent drops. 20 stacks now for Farlander, which means that on Alarak he's still sitting at 22,000 damage, which isn't too bad. 33,000 damage on Hammer. I mean, it's Hammer time. But it's also Malthael. Malthael himself on 30,000. That's pretty respectable. That's actually really, really good if you think about it. The 16 talents are ready for them as they're starting to move again through the bottom of the map to drop the final fort. They're going already for another potential kill here. Malthael this time isn't there, but Malthael is currently making the play against Johanna. And is he gonna... Oh my god, he might even get the kill here. Ooh, Johanna had to blessed shield him. That was a blessed shield used to make sure that there is no play around last Rites. Cooldown burned here. Nicely done with Mouth at this point. Well done by him. Now with 20, Giant Killer. That talent is making the life of every melee hero and frontliner just a living hell. It's going to be rough. If you think that Hammer up to this point was already a nuisance, just wait until he unleashes the entire damage setup that he gets with this. Now, once we're hitting 20, it might be a different story with a Buried Alive, but for the time being, HANZO's damage output against those frontliners is absolutely nuts. It's disgusting. And just look at the damage against the dog! Goes down before the Ancestral connects. A 3rd stack for Malthael. And even the mosh pit. Farlander gets slowed down a little bit longer. Leoric is also down and they're trying to get another kill in. This time they won't be able to make that happen, but with 3 kills just as the shrine spawns, they have no pressure at the top lane. They just stack Malthael more. He has 15-second cooldown reduction already. They're making the play easy peasy for the Arcane Punisher. And I'm moving to the top now too, just to take another camp away. This is honestly, from the perspective of Team Russia, a bit of a disaster at this point. Rhaegar tried for the Ancestral. Stork is again in trouble. Has the Blessed Shield. They followed that up. He might have had to use that again, just to make sure that there's another kill coming through for Tai. The cooldown reduction on Malthael is already nuts. 15 seconds? I mean, here's it up already. He has only 3 stacks and he's just keeping stacking it. They go through the bot lane. I mean, they're going to drop that fort before the Protector or the Punisher is even going to make its way in. In addition to that, they're also taking the camp down here. 24 stacks now for Alarak, but right now it just doesn't feel like Team Russia has an answer to that barrage of damage that is always coming their way as we're seeing those two teams collide. The synergy is just a little bit too much, and fighting in that choke point didn't really help their cause either, with Jaina unleashing the AoE damage and then also the BFG coming through just as Rhaegar was about to Ancestral himself. And the dog was under a lot of pressure. It's actually a mystery to me how Vanabia is able to escape so many times in this entire game. They're pushing through the bot lane, easily at that. And they're currently having in terms of damage. Malthael overtaking Hammer. That's how much damage we're actually seeing coming in from Ty here, especially of course around the last rights. He is just murdering this right now. And he's just waiting for the next one. He's waiting for stack number 4, and the keep at the bot lane is falling. That one's down. Question just is, can they get a kill? And it doesn't really look like there's going to be a big fight around it. It's still 16 talents, but obviously now level 20 is on the menu for Granit Gaming as they are moving straight into the middle again. Ty is doing his thing, and Ty is also leading the charts when it comes to the siege damage in itself. So it is a pretty sick setup that we're currently seeing here. I mean, just to give you guys a bit of an idea, look at the difference here in experience. Passive experience alone, 3,000 difference. Minion experience a little bit better for the Russians, but then you have mercenaries, and that in itself is a massive, massive advantage. 5,000 against 1,500. So all of these things massively add up at this point. Top side. That's where we're currently still having Leo doing his thing. I mean, yeah, kind of has to. That would break through the wall eventually. The fight, on the other hand, here in the middle as they're going again for Jojo. Malthael is here too. Could get another stack for last rights if he finds a setup. And the insta-kill against HANZO. He didn't even know what happened and was completely wrecked. There's the kill against Rhaegar. Didn't get a chance either. And that's a triple kill once more. Triple kill comes in. 4 stacks right now for the last rights. That's a 20-second cooldown reduction. He could stack this thing into oblivion at this point. But we are having them go for the core right now. They're obviously in a fantastic spot to end the game here. And they're intending to do exactly that. Absolute fantastic play. Moshpit, Turbas, Alarak is in trouble. And he got Alaraked. Trying to make the play here for the core. Hazorps, of course, with the damage on Sergeant Hammer alone, and they're burning this down quickly. Leo is still in the back line here. Ty is sitting there. It's like, give me that 5th stack. Give it to me now. Waits another second. There it is. And doesn't even deliver it. A little pointed. That was a... Ah, he got it. Stack number 5 acquired. And that is game. That's a 2-0 lead. That's Granit Gaming taking the 2-0 lead in the best of 5 here at the grand final of the Agon League. GG. And well played. Volskaya, game number 3, and guys, it could actually be the last game of the series right now. I hope not, but Granit Gaming looked really solid in game number 2 here. Volskaya Foundry is our 3rd map, and it was a huge back and forth on map number 1, but the second map, that was a different story. That was just clean cut on the side of Granit Gaming, and pretty respectable there too. I mean, it was very, very well played. It was a great setup. They played well around Hammer. They had Malthael, and Ty is, honestly, he's pretty much murdering it on Malthael. Play a solid game there. They stick with the ban on Anubarak, and I can't blame them at all. I mean, Stork is known to play that style. And it's not only about Stork as an individual playing the hero really well. For ages, by the way, even before Anubarak became such a staple in the meta. But it's also the team just plays so well around that particular style. There's the Rexa ban this time. Bit of a better map for Skya for that setup. Ooh, MAIEV, let's... Oh my god, they ban out Tyrande. Henning apparently is now worthy of a target ban, and that's an insta-pick on MAIEV. Okay, that definitely changes up the momentum quite a bit. They just said, nope, Tyrande is more of an issue. Henning is murdering it too much with that. Those stuns and the Hunter's Mark that are coming out are too much of a problem, so let's get rid of Tyrande for now. Tracer Malfurion. Alright. Now we're talking. Tracer Malfurion, all eyes on Banabir for the next one. So we're gonna see how this is gonna work. If that's the key into the series for Team Russia. Well, as we're heading into Volskaya Foundry, the question is also how Granit Gaming is going to adjust right now. Ana very likely as a support to come out. Rhaegar instead. Rhaegar Li Ming over Ana Li Ming. Okay, no nano boost for DAB. Still the question who you play on Li Ming right now. Tai and DAB are both great on the hero. I would say they are probably leaving DAB on Li Ming and put Tai onto an offlaner again. With HANZO playing MAIEV, if they're not switching around here, then it would make a lot of sense to keep Tai maybe on Malthael again. At this point I was actually considering even banning out Malthael, to be honest with you. For that reason. But instead they are banning out Dibbles. No Diablo for Lauber. Which kind of means that we're probably going to see Garrosh on the side of Stalk. I mean, I could kind of see... They played a lot with... If they're playing Tracer, they played actually in the past a lot with Tyrael here. I'm just not sure if Stalk is really committing to Tyrael on the setup, or if they're saying that on Volskaya in particular, Garrosh is going to give them a little bit more value. But I love Stalk's Tyrael. Stalk's Tyrael is just awesome. Just absolutely awesome. Maybe Granit is switching over MAIEV to Tai. It could also be a play. I definitely expect a couple of swaps there. Alright, Shamsig on Imperius and Stalk on ETC. Taking another hero away from Granit Gaming that they could pick at the front line. Now, we're still having a bunch of tanks out there, of course. Garrosh. I mean, we're not going to play Stitchers, but Garrosh, Johanna, Muradin. There's still a couple around that are really solid in the setup here. Muradin maybe not so much, but definitely when we're talking about Garrosh and Johanna. Muradin can help. There's the Malthael pick. And they pick Muradin after all. Fair enough. I expected most of Johanna to be taken here. But instead, it's Muradin for the Stormbolt. Zarya on the last pick. Alright, that is definitely switching it up. The Russian chick on the Russian map for Team Russia. Alright, the Russians pick the Russian map and they're picking the Russian hero. I mean, if this doesn't spell out victory for you, then you know that it's just not your day. Granit Gaming against Team Russia. Game number 3 on Volskaya Foundry. Game number 3, Team Russia, with the Russian setup going up against Granit Gaming on our third map here. And on the left we have... Ooh, wait, what? We have Stalk on Zarya, Kolya Martian on Malfurion, Shamsig on ETC, and Falender on Imperius with Banner on Tracer. Alright, that went wild quickly. On the other side, though, Granit Gaming playing it with HANZO on MAIEV. We see Henning on Rhaegar, Lauber on Muradin, Tai on Malthael, and DAB on Li Ming in our first game here. But yeah, Stalk playing Zarya. That's an interesting touch here for this game. Stacking quest on level 1 for Muradin, by the way, outside of the baseline, obviously. And now a little best of 5 here. Could be the last map. 2-0 lead for Granit Gaming right now here at the Agon League. And you gotta respect this. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can say about Aegon Targaryen, but one of the better things that he did is set up this league here so that we have amazing grand finals like this one. I'm talking about fights like damn. They're really going in for that. There's a massive amount of stuns, by the way, in lockdowns. Imperius with a lunge, ETC with a power slide, Malfurion with a root. There's a lot that they can use for that setup. Imperius already taken the top lane here in the meantime. We're currently having also Tracer already sifting around here a little bit. Tracer will have to really do overtime. I mean, you already have the support from Malfurion and you have the support from Zarya, but at the same time, when you're looking at the setup here right now, she is the only real range damage dealer. We're still having that continuous poke from the pinpoint accuracy from Zarya, obviously. But, I mean, just in general, Zarya can do a lot of work. If she just keeps poking away and gets the damage in, she can do a ton with that. Right now we have 3 stacks already for Muradin. Damage output on the other side mainly going to come from Li Ming, but of course Malthael is going to be able to deliver a lot with that melee setup as well, as long as they keep him alive. And that's really where especially, of course, Henning again comes into play. He needs to have that Ancestral Gravity whenever there is a quick focus. Yeah, DAB against Tracer here. It's already slowly locked down, and Banner dancing in, dancing out the entire time. Gets also the shield. Wondering about the level of 4 talent still a little bit, if we're going to get that extra speed from Stalk onto the heroes. We're gonna get that in a moment. Most of the builds are so far at least pretty normal. You know, Broccoli again, we're already looking at dominance, going to be highly important. And especially Zarya, who we currently have our eye on, has not chosen the level 4 talent yet and is teasing that still slightly. And there we have it, yep, Speed Barrier. Speed Barrier still taken, okay. So Tracer is just super annoying right now. If you thought Tracer was annoying before, that's basically Tracer on crack. The question just simply is, can you even control Tracer? That's how fast she is right now. Cavalry is definitely here. It's like, is it a plane? Is it a bird? No, it's Tracer. Still, with the first control point unlocking in a second and nobody really committing to the healing beacon yet. We're going to see that battle in the mid lane quite a lot. Tracer actually starting to get really low here, but it's about ETC in that little play that they have at the bot lane against him. Shamzik is alive. Doesn't fall to that little gank. But in the meantime, this objective starts to start up here. And I really want to see how this is working out, because the triple melee frontline that we're having here together with Zarya could be really nasty. Tracer is just absolutely zipping around the entire time, but if that triple melee lineup works out, that would be a bit insane. Banabi has to be careful too, though, because he is still a bit on the squishy side. And yes, Zarya can provide an extra shield, but that doesn't mean that you can go that deep. Banabi has already suffered a lot of damage at that. Yeah, they're retaking, or trying to retake the spot. 6 stacks, Stormbolt missed for now, and there comes the attempt to drop Muradin, and the dwarf tries to hop away and gets killed mid-jump. Yep, that is Lauber already down. If you have the interrupt with ETC against the jump in particular, or just against anything, and you are in a great spot here. 7 versus 7 now, and that gives us, of course, Calamity, so Tracer has to be a little bit more careful. With that, we're also having Cleanse, which is going to be important, and again, the touch of death here. For me personally, it's really a lot about what happens in the later stages of the game when we're having Malthael on a decent level, because with how many heroes there exist at the front line, that could really wreck them. On talking about wrecking things, Stalk! Oh, he's insanely low and gets away for now. Provides even a quick speed barrier here to ETC, as both of the teams are still fighting heavily over this setup here. HANZO is looking for the tether the entire time. Not only that, we have Tai with 1 turret, they have 2 in general, same amount of turrets on the other side. Imperius moving up to the top, they're playing this slow for now. It's all about the first protector for now, who takes the lead in the game, who's able to prep the top lane for the next one. Lauber is looking for the Stormbolt. There's of course a lot of CC with ETC in particular. Now they go for Tracer again. Tracer has to be super careful. Here comes the setup, the cleanse on Lauber as he gets out, at least for now. MAIEV comes back down, turret already on the ground, the first one that is. There's re-engaging to make the play here. DAB with a poke available, of course, to him, and he has the overtime, and they have to commit to it this time. In comes, oh, Muradin! And that might be the kill, and indeed it is. And Gregor goes down to double kill, easy peasy. Shamzik had 2 hit points. He had 2 hit points as he gets the shield, and they keep him alive and kill Malthael instead. 4 kills against 0 now, and the Russians are starting to take the home field advantage here on Volskaya Foundry and start moving through the mid lane. Shot soaked by the minions and making the commitment for the keep, for the fort, and that's going to give them a level 10. They're having level 10 right now, and with that they can make the rotation topside still. They can go for the fountain, they can just simply go for the one in the middle. They have a massive engage, there's already a stage dive. We're seeing also Imperius with Wrath, and that is, I mean, honestly, this is already starting to spiral super quickly. I mean, look at the leading experience that just simply happened from that one team fight. 4 kills. And in addition to that, we're now seeing them with a massive, massive lead. Oh, Barnaby, on the other hand, is going to fall. Yeah, a little bit too far out there. But again, fort is down, so is the fountain at the top. But can they get even a little bit more? They don't care about the level 10s. They go for Malf, and that's a dead Malf. Yes, he's down. ETC with a slide. There's the 10s. Granit Gaming, they're fighting back massively. They're trying to go for Farlander. And the Stormbolt connects, and that should be Imperius falling. Yep. How is that working? Alright. Dodges the damage, at least, from the level 10. From the last strikes on Malthael, thanks to his own ult. So it dodges out on that, but he still falls. 13 stacks now for Muradin. And they're getting the healing beacon too. I was just about to talk how amazingly ahead the Russians were, and then with one simple team fight, Granit Gaming turns it around again. It all started with Tracer just getting a bit too greedy and then getting destroyed, and then after that, even without level 10 abilities, they just move in and they just take them down. I mean, this really swapped within... I mean, you blink and all of a sudden the advantage is gone. They still have taken down the mid lane, and they have taken down the top fountain, so they have a very, very good setup for the second protector. That's an advantage that they can still hold on to. But we're seeing Stork tethered in again. They're trying to make the play here. Barnabia is extremely low again, and DAB doesn't fall. ETC with the stage dive comes through. Lauba gets cleansed as the slide comes in. He's trying to turn it around again, and MAIEV not committing to it yet, but threatening the tether the entire time. And in comes Ty from the side. Ty is looking for it again. He has the last rights and he could use it. If he finds a target, he's definitely going to go for it straight away. And he sees Imperius, and again it gets dodged out by the rat. I'm really liking the way that Farlander does this. I'm not quite sure if it's intentional, but at this point you have to actually assume that it is. And oh my god, look at how low they are. DAB is down. Barnabia wants to go for more. He goes for HANZO. That's the second kill. And the Russians, they're going for kill number 3 against Ty. Triple kill. 7 against 3 now. 13 against 12 when it comes to Talons. And yep, that top lane is in trouble. The second time that we are seeing last rights countered by the Wrath of Imperius. It's actually pretty nuts. I mean, that's 2 times in a row right now that the kill got dodged just through that. And that's another cooldown that you pretty much invalidate. And yeah, they're getting the wins in now. So at this point, it's all about the next objective, but we have 2 forts down. And this game is just getting left, right, left. It's like a ping pong match, seriously. If they continue like this, I'm going to have neck problems after this one. Ty at the bot lane, now pretty much alone, as we're already seeing them wait for another item. A bit of a long wait. It's 27 seconds as they're all gathering up there. I thought it was like 2 or something. Nope, not quite. Yeah, top lane value currently. Ty at the bot lane is like, team. Needs a little bit of help there. Muradin is helping out, but we're having at least MAIEV at the top side, trying to make sure that they're getting some stacks on that objective. And I mean, let's not forget, they are still in a situation where they could get the objective. If they win that Punisher, then all of a sudden Granit Gaming is definitely back to business. So they're already at 27%, so eventually the Russian team is going to start to rotate topside and take that battle. But for the time being, at least, they're not as far ahead for objective 2 as you would imagine. Obviously, if they win this one, they're going to snowball hard. They're 1.5 levels ahead. I'm just saying there's no chance that they're actually fighting with a talent advantage here. So it's more so about the lack of a retreat point that we're seeing for Granit Gaming than anything else. HANZO will have to disengage here, and he's going to do that soon. ETC is not there yet. He's going stage dive in, obviously. Farlander, yeah. That Zarya ult so far didn't do really a whole lot. Nice attempt to take down Barnabia, but it didn't work out. They're starting to make the play again. Ty has to be careful who throws the last rights on. ETC is already starting to move in from the side. 16 could actually drop. ETC is trying to get 16 in the mid lane, and they could actually get it, but it's 81% now on the objective. Ooh, this is getting spicy, and here comes ETC. Immediately the containment disc. Containment disc right away. They're starting to make the play right here. HANZO with the Ancestral is being kept alive. 16 is still not there as the fight is absolutely raging on right now. Tracer is down. Not even the ult of Kolyamarsh could do anything about that, but they're getting the counter kill against MAIEV as they're starting to move in again. 4 versus 4. They're going for Shamzik. Last rights was already used and countered again. And we're having at the same time Lauba low, the slide, the control, and here comes Limbing. DAB needs the kill. Lauba tries to get out of this one, but they're going for Henny, they're going for Ty, and that is the double kill. They get the double. They're 16 right now, 10 kills against 4, 2 levels ahead, and they are murdering the Dwarf as well. The Dwarf goes down, 11 kills against 4, another item on the map, and they are just absolutely wrecking it right now. Great play here again. Team Russia with a place once more, and they are looking to... Oh, what are they going to do with this? Fountain is down at the bot lane. I guess you go keep here. Why would you waste your time moving to the bot lane and preparing the bottom lane if you already have taken down the Fountain with the help of the minions? Instead, you can just make the play for the keep itself, as you're already a talent ahead and 2 levels on top of that too. So this is a great setup here for them. And it's pretty impressive. And they're still moving bot side. Wow. I totally thought they would go for the keep. Especially since this is a Russian team after all. But I guess if they're prepping the bot lane even more and push this through, take the fort and maybe even the wall, they're making sure that with the next objective, if they win it, they can take down the game itself and take down the core here. But yeah, so they make the rotation at the bottom of the map. Definitely have quite a bit of value on this, but no keep advantage through it. With the keep advantage, you might have been able to go for 20 right away. Then again, they're so far ahead at this point that they might still be able to do that no matter what. 16 versus 16 right now, and the wall is definitely going to be broken through. And minions are going to start moving in now too. And yeah, there we have it. Bonavia again, damage attempt, but now that the Colossal Totem and the Earthquest Totem work together after the 60 talent choice, they can actually attempt to make a couple of plays there. Containment Disc is out. They're starting to go straight for the keep. They might still get the keep there. They're looking for kills instead at this point. And look at DAB. Holy shit. I mean, he barely gets the tap off there. Should have fallen a long time ago, if you ask me, but they're still looking for the kills. ETC slides in, pushes them back. Lauber in trouble. Lauber, and he's down again. Lauber down, and they are making the play for their keep itself now after all. Top lane is pushing too. They are absolutely insane. The Russians are just absolutely crazy right now. And of course, they're looking at the core. I don't really think they can pull it off now, but of course they're looking. I mean, it's the Russians after all. They're actually trying to make the play. They don't even have a talent advantage. They have 19 seconds until Muradin is back. That's all that they have here. Looking for the kill, trying to burn Tai here. Farlander is attempting to connect the lunge. Tai. Oh, and he gets the kill. Oh, he actually gets the kill. Here comes the containment disc as they're stopping EDC. The core is already starting to drop. The Russians are simply going for it. HANZO barely dodges out on the kill as Tracer went in, but now we're having the core falling to 40%, and they're simply pulling it off. They don't give a fuck. They just go in and say, why would we wait? We can end the game right now, so that's what we do. GG as the Russians put their first point onto the scoreboard and force game number 4. Well played. Game number 4, everyone! Alright, Battlefield of Eternity is our next map. Again, potentially the last, but the Russians have made a very strong case where you should not count them out just yet. Team Russia with a victory on Volskaya. Home advantage, as I said before. Russian map for the Russian team. But now we're actually looking at Battlefield of Eternity, and that is going to be game number 4. Really mind if that series goes the full distance, but at this point Granit Gaming is definitely going to try and decide it already with a 3-1 here in the grand final. So heading into this, the one hero that we of course have to watch out for a little bit outside of the normal ones with MAIEV, ZERATUL, is still Hammer. And I actually think that Team Russia at this point is going to have a lot of thoughts about banning Hammer out on the 3rd spot. So if Granit Gaming really wants to have Hammer and it doesn't get picked away, I think there's a very, very good chance that we're going to see Hammer banned out on the 3rd spot. It's actually Jaina that gets banned earlier, though, which I find kind of interesting. I really thought that on this map it's more so Li Ming that they are concerned about, but we could end up with an early Li Ming pick on the side of Team Russia, maybe. Alright, there's MAIEV. Banned out. Team Russia with an insta-pick on Tirana. No more Tirana for Henning. That's kind of what they're saying here. And obviously they want her for the objective too. Now what does Granit do? Are we going to get the early... I mean, it could be an early Tracer, it could be an early Li Ming. But if they don't get any of these heroes, then Team Russia is in a spot where they could definitely pick one or two, or one of those for themselves. Now we have 2 great Tracer players on the side of Granit Gaming, with Tai and with DAB. There's Ana and there's Li Ming. Yeah, I like the Li Ming setup a lot because it caters to the objective a little bit more than Tracer. But how are the Russians going to play that right now? So we have already the Ana and Li Ming combo on the other side. So now you can still play around Tracer. You can still try and make a play maybe through HANZO. You have Greyman available later, but they go for the Zarya setup again. They go for Zarya and for Imperius. They really believe at this point in the Zarya plays. And together with Imperius too, which allows him to be a lot more aggressive with the lunge and just like move in, get close enough to get the stun set up here. And it's a little bit difficult to ban out for that too. And I personally would really expect Sergeant Hammer to be banned out by Team Russia. There's the HANZO ban immediately, and from the Russian team, I kinda expect the Hammer ban. If not Hammer, then they would probably ban the frontline out. But if you're playing on Battlefield of Eternity, a map where HANZO in particular has shown Hammer a lot, and you already had trouble against that on Infernal Shrines, it seems like the logical choice. And they go for Diablo instead. Okay. Now all of a sudden Hammer becomes extremely extractive here. Let's see how they actually do that. I mean, I would expect it for HANZO, obviously. Would set Tai on the offlane again. Given the current setup that they have, which means that Tai can again go for Malthael. I'm not quite sure how deep the offlaner hero pool for Tai is. His Malthael is pretty decent. But he played Thrall, I think, in the past once. So there's Thrall. Likely Echo of Elements, considering that he has to go offlane here. And last pick, Hammer for HANZO. Is that going to be the play here for them? Or are they switching it around slightly? I mean, let's find out what the Russians do first. I mean, they still don't have a damage dealer either. And with the Zarya Tyrande setup, you could go Tracer again. You can still play Hammer for yourself, by the way. There's Tyrael even, yeah. And Hammer. Okay, there we go. They pick Hammer. They are the ones going for Hammer here. And that's the triple melee setup, again, that they just used on the last map to take the first win in this. Is Stalk still playing Zarya here? He's usually the Tyrael player for them. It's a cool setup. It's actually a really, really cool setup. Zarya can be a really fun hero to watch there. I'm not quite sure if that's going to be true with Hammer, but we'll find out. Granit Gaming, on the other hand, they still need a hero for HANZO, and yeah, they're going for Junkrat. So let's see if that works out. Li Ming has to deliver. Li Ming with a nano boost has to make sure she delivers with the resets. But Battlefield of Eternity is coming up, potentially the last map here at the Agon League, as we're going into the grand final map number 4. Game number 4. Yeah, we're heading into Battlefield of Eternity now. And on the left side, we see Stalk again on Zarya. Kolya Martian on Tyrande, Shamzik on Tyrael, and Farlender on Imperius with Banabir on Sergeant Hammer. Last but not least in that composition. On the right side, Granit Gaming with Laub on ETC, Henning on Ana. We're having HANZO on Junkrat, DAB on Li Ming, and Thrall played by Tai. Echo of Elements for him, going to be the offlaner here. Can't really rotate anybody else into that setup. Let's see if that Zarya setup works again. I mean, it worked on the last map, now they're trying it again, this time with a different auto-attacker. Not quite as nimble, Sergeant Hammer, but still pretty annoying. So let's see if DAB can deliver. He needs to get the kills here on his Li Ming. Gonna get... okay, they're already going for Banabir here. Hammer gets out, but oh my god. That was a close call there. It's actually kind of insane that Banabir is already again in the spot where he's nearly at full HP again, considering that 4 heroes just absolutely pounced on him. Yeah, that was a pretty good setup there by Granit Gaming. Unfortunately for them, it didn't net them a kill. Talking also about stacks and stuff. We are having currently 8 stacks already on Zarya's level 1. That came quickly. Farlender is pressuring. Yeah, it's a huge amount of pressure that comes from Team Russia here. The kill attempt against Hammer was definitely good, and they're trying to control Hammer again. I actually like the setup in the way that they're trying to control Hammer. HANZO on his Junkrat can definitely do a whole lot with the also push him out of position, and they're always following it up with an ETC stun. But they just don't have the output just yet to get the kill. I feel once that we're seeing DAB on level 7, Hammer has to be a lot more careful. And actually this time they're going for Farlender here. Oh, that was close. He was on 6 hit points before the final shot connected there. That would have been an insane escape, even more so than what we've seen from Hammer. And wow, DAB just getting the combo off right now. I honestly want to see what he does on level 4. If he goes into dominance, or if with Hammer in the setup he actually says screw it and goes instead into the added damage. If they're going for the added poke here. I mean, if he gets setups against the stationary Hammer or against the hovering siege mode later on, that would be very interesting, to say the least. I mean, DAB could literally just absolutely murder them there. So level 4 is going to be interesting, just to get a bit of an idea of what DAB is up to towards that game. Top lane, not really much to report here. Good stacking from THY. That's the only thing that we're certain of. 15 stacks so far. That isn't bad at all. And here come the stacks. Massive amount of CC, obviously, on the side of Team Russia. Pretty big. Okay, here's the 4 and or build. Look at that. DAB makes Mena cry as he goes into the AWP build, which granted has a bit more value on this map. But didn't quite expect that to happen. Is it going to be another one of these AWP hybrids where we're seeing Calamity then taken after all? I mean, at least through this, he gets also cooldown reduction. And I mean, against Hammer, you're oftentimes guaranteed to get the hit in there. So a little bit of an AWP setup from DAB. Unexpected, but let's see how that goes. Top side, THY is actually about to complete his quest, which is honestly pretty bonkers. I mean, normally you don't see that completed as the first objective spawns, but THY is just one stack away from making that reality. 3 minutes in and he has it. That's pretty good, so they can poke around that. Yeah, already a bit of a race there, but obviously when you're looking towards the other side with Hammer and also Tyrande, there's a lot of setup there. So once again, trying to snipe the halftime show here, and the red team is going to win this quite handily. It's a 4,000 hit point difference between the two teams. Yeah, now it's all about just burning that down as quickly as you can. But the defense is already there. Defensive posture for them. Shamzik needs to be very careful. He gets the extra speed from the barrier on the side of... Oh my god, Farlander! Oh, 158 points! And he's still fighting. He knows one direction, and that is forward. Back into the fight right away. But yeah, they didn't get the kill there. Must be really annoying for them. Junkrat just drops the mines on the side of them the entire time. Nice done. Immortal value at this point. Okay, they're going in again, starting to drop that Immortal slowly and steadily. Good damage coming also out of DAB again as he's getting a bit of value out of his level 4 talent. They're starting to make the play there again. Stun into the Immortal nearly. Up. And they're nearly getting this one. ETC about to slide in. THY is getting dropped. And Shamzik survives. The shields, can they finally get a kill? Doesn't look like it. Instead, Farlander makes the big dive here. The Immortal is still claimed by the blue team. By the red team, but Junkrat dies too. It's unbelievable. The Russians actually just don't fall. Again, he survives. He gets the shields. Shields from THRALL, shields from Zarya, heals from Tyrande. They're just surviving everything here. Tyrande is starting to run out of... run out of harm's way too. I was about to say she's running out of mana, but then we get the shield from Stork, and thanks to the speed barrier, she's just running out of the fight. It must be insanely frustrating right now for Granit Gaming to not get a single kill here in this setup. The only kill that they got was a bit earlier, but damn, like, this is crazy. They still won the objective. I mean, that's already a big win, and they're going through this easy peasy. They're even trying to sneak around with ETC to see if they can go and play for Hammer. Yep, there's a slide attempt. That didn't connect. Okay. He didn't use siege tactics, right? Am I blind? Did he use siege tactics, or what was that? He didn't connect at all, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, at this point we're having at least the 4 taken down, and that was big. Yeah, they're going for Stork again. That was a good slide. Stuns are coming out now a little bit more reliably. THRALL is also starting to move in. Alright. There we have it again. Down here, the control against Stork. And they need to be careful with this, but the combo against Hammer and get blown to pieces. Yeah, that's the value that we're seeing on the side of Li Ning here. That's where the AWP talent comes into play. Calamity has been added on level 7 for the extra damage. They're already trying to drop Farlander again. Whoa, he's low. But they're getting out. Still a leading experience, and again, them just getting additional damage in and also starting to drop the structures is of course a huge advantage. Lauber gets healed by Henning in the meantime from the backline. Anna is just annoying as hell. They're We're having 33 stacks now for Zarya on her level 1. As at the bot lane, we're still seeing that battle between Shamzik and THY. Didn't go to the level 4 quest, so doesn't really have to be worried about that. Mana Titan's dead for him. Rotation is also coming in, where DAB is already waiting around to see if they can maybe provide a little bit of cover here, especially since they're making the play now for the camp at the bottom of the map. But we're actually seeing that scouted out, and here comes the Russian team, and they're thinking about going for it. This time they actually decide against it. Okay, that's a new one. Playing it a little bit passive. And we're still seeing the potential slide. Okay, massive setup against ETC. It's being kept in play by Anna. Ana doing her thing. There's no slide just yet. 9.5 in terms of experience. THRALL is on the run. And again, DAB nearly murdering Banabir. Hammer is having a lot of a really tough time right now. DAB is just homing in on Hammer the entire time, trying to get the flanks in and gets one combo off after another. As the rest of the team chases, DAB positions himself at the side and gets the combo through. And does the same thing again. Hits Tyrande, hits Hammer, and gets the damage in. And immediately uses Calamity to get away too. So yeah, moving out for that. It's only a mana question for DAB, and he's already topping that off as we're heading into the next objective. Let's not forget that there's also another camp at the top lane. It's not a Shaman camp, but it's definitely going to do damage. And now, of course, they're already on the defense, and that's the Russians that we're talking about. Look at the experience. 10 any moment. Great lead for Granit Gaming. Has a great lead into the second objective. And obviously at this point they're also having the nano boost, and that in itself is already a huge danger. Liming has been doing a lot of work this entire game already. And now this is a guaranteed halftime show here in favor of Granit Gaming, as the Russians are waiting for their own level 10. Lauba is threatening that mosh pit and is just saying, hey guys, if you just keep stacking against me, I'm gonna mosh you right now. But now it's at least level 10 abilities on both sides. And that gives Team Russia a chance of getting back into this and fighting it out. But they're still having to play defensive because they lost the halftime show so decisively. Another big combo against Shamsik, but the shield already coming out. And of course, HANZO is poking the entire time too. I mean, HANZO is sitting at 24,000. Can't quite keep up with Liming, but still. Yeah, there's the speed, but this time it didn't work out for Farlander. Gets the lunge in, but just lunges between the two of them. Couldn't really decide which hero to go for. Stork is eating the stun so that he gets the additional energy for Zarya. Well, they're sliding in again, but the speed bonus from the speed barrier is annoying as hell. Look at Liming again. Big combo here against Tyrande. Not long distance though. Get level 4. Oh, and they're going for ZERATUL. Sanctification on the ground. A little bit of damage from the BFG as THRALL is already committing to the Earthquake. They're starting to make the play again. Farlander's a little bit in trouble in the bot lane as Imperius has to move away. Uses armament too. The defense on the side of Granit Gaming as they're starting to move straight up to the top again for the Immortal. And obviously the Russians are following the rotation, trying to defend as much as they can right now. Shamsik already looking for the angle here, doesn't find it. Tyrande with a stun, immediately looking for the follow-up. Shamsik falling at the side again, but gets stopped by the sleep dart. Lauba on the move back here as we're seeing the Russians in hot pursuit against Ana. And here comes the power slide. ETC might fall, but he saves Ana at least for the time being. DAB still looking for the kill as the Immortal is taken. The Russians desperately looking for the kill to at least mitigate the damage a little bit, but now Stork gets taken down by Liming. The lockdown against Imperius has gone straight for it again. Lauba with a massive mosh pit doesn't get interrupted. One kill and they're getting more. Shamsik is about to fall, he goes down, and they are looking for the kill against Farlander as well. The big badass mosh pit from Lauba, and now the staggered death against Farlander. 6 kills against 2. You're moving down to the bottom of the map where we have the Immortal pushing in, and damn son. Now all of a sudden, what a setup here. Granit Gaming with the 2-1 lead in the series, and they're making headway in game number 4. They're starting to go in aggressively. They're going again for Stork. Slides are there. The combos from Liming are coming out. At this point, we're looking again at a setup where we have level 13 any second. Look at the damage on Liming in total, 41,000 for her. Breaking through the wall at the bottom of the map. Both of the forts already eliminated. Stork in trouble. And here comes the attempt to kill him with a Riptire. But it gets taken out. Farlander is pushing it out. Ana again on the run as we are having the move in from Liming from the side here. 13 talents are ready for Granit Gaming, but the Russians are still willing to fight it. Obviously, as usual. And Shamsik actually dodging everything with the extra speed that he has from the speed barrier. Henning is still low. They need to keep him alive. And they're trying to make the play for DAB again, but he already teleports out of it as we're seeing THRALL committing to the Wind Fury and rushing out. Woo! Top lane pressure with the catapults now moving in. Yeah, but there comes THRALL. Stork getting again damage put onto him quite easily from those combos. They're starting to be a bit more aggressive, but 1.5 levels behind already. Everybody tapping at the fountains or Hearthstoning it back as DAB is also quite low. He's actually trying to go for the globe and then move away, but can't really do too much here. Saving him for now. And the wall is broken through. They're playing as aggressive as they can, and without Liming, they just can't make the plays here. They can poke with HANZO and his Junkrat, and try and keep them at bay. But the Russians are trying to apply some pressure by themselves right now with Hammer. Protect the Hammer setup because they realize they have to do something. Lauber comes in from behind again. He's trying to set that up. Slides in against Tyrande. Here comes the Earthquake. Riptire is moving in too, but there is the Sanctification. Tyrande is dead though. Tyrande down. Barnaby low. And the kill attempt by DAB. This time not working out. But there we go. Comes in, gets the reset. Tries to make the play for THRALL. As we're seeing on the side, Farlander also being in a lot of trouble here. Farlander gonna fall eventually as Liming is trying to make the play, but Shamzik actually escapes as he falls on the right side. Imperius, that is. Zarya went down at the bottom, so 3 heroes attacked at the same time as we're having 3 down, and now 10 kills against 2 and another objective on the map. And with that, we are having another chance to get a massive Immortal right now for Granit Gaming. Massive, massive Immortal right here. Halftime show easily won. Not even close. Look at the gap in experience at this point. I mean, damn, they're more than 2 levels ahead. And obviously now we have a 5-on-5 on the map again, but they're even taking the camp now to apply more pressure to the top lane. Constant pressure on the lanes thanks to the catapult spawning. The defense is already set up. They're seeing with the Owl, they at least have an idea of what's happening here. ETC is pushing out the top lane a little bit more aggressively even. Yeah, and that top lane is going to be a problem. With that minion wave here, maybe also eliminated, and also the Shaman Cam moving in, that's pressure on the keep itself. A little bit far out though. He has to focus onto the Immortal at the bot lane. Defensive posture also from Granit Gaming right now as they're trying to shut that down as quickly as they can. But the commitment up here to the top as DAB is starting to go for the Immortal. They're starting to burn that down. They're forcing the defensive position again. And that comes at a time when we're having the Shaman Camp arrive down at the bottom. Uh-oh! DAB barely getting out there. Yep, pressure at the bot lane and pressure here as well. Both of the keeps are under enormous pressure right now and both of them might fall. The longer this lasts, both of these keeps are going to fall. And this is a massive issue. It's pretty much a checkmate position that Team Russia finds himself in. No matter what play you make, it's a mistake. Do you go for the defense of the keeps, then you're going to lose the Immortal, and it's going to be a big one. But now they're in danger of losing both of the keeps and the Immortal. They're making the play for Lauber, and that would be great if they can get the kill there. Riptire again eliminated before he gets any value whatsoever. Keep at the top lane is about to fall. DAB still with a flank play here. And at the side, we're seeing Farlander trying to go for Ana again. Keep top lane is down. Keep at the top lane is down. The one at the bottom is still in play, but it's low. It's extremely low. And in the meantime, here comes the slide and the kill against Tyrande. The mosh pit attempt. And Farlander low on 100 HP, moving away. HANZO again with the grenades the entire time. Core is also starting to suffer damage as the Russians are retreating. 16 talents in their hands of Granit Gaming, and the kill against the Sergeant. Imperius falls 2, and they can go core now. It's a 5 versus 2. Make it a 5 versus 1 as we're seeing THRALL die as well. And that is Granit Gaming going straight for the core here. Fantastic performance by them in this series. The Russians with a great comeback on Volskaya Foundry, but the hammer counter that we're seeing here from Granit with that setup around Junkrat, around Liming with a nano boost is just a little bit too much for them to handle. Tyrande falls again, so does the core slowly but steadily. They're pushing Stalk out as they're looking for another kill against Zarya, and Granit Gaming is going for it. Still thwarted slightly, but there is just no surviving this. Stalk goes down, and that is victory. Granit Gaming with a 3-1 victory in the best of 5, taking the championship at the Agon League. GG, and well played.